thank you again for all joining us today. My name's Ali Rabinowitz. I'm the UGE advisor, the Center for Undergraduate Global Engagement advisor for this particular program, the Columbia Summer Creative Writing in Paris. This is kind of a new program, so we're very excited to have this offered this summer 25. Today's session is going to go kind of over a lot of the information that's available on the website, like a program overview, kind of about the application, additional scholarship opportunities, as well, of course, the academics and what it's going to really be like, in Paris. So if you guys have any questions throughout, like feel free to drop it in the chat. I'm also really accessible over email. So if you need, any additional help or support, feel free to reach out to me anytime. But Nellie, if you don't mind, introducing yourself as well, just to start, that would be great as well.
Sure. Hi, I'm Nellie. I'm teaching one of the two courses in the program. I'll be teaching the prose writing course, and my colleague Dottie will teach the poetry course. I can say more about it later on if you want.
Yeah, perfect. Awesome. Thank you. Well, today, again, we're just going to kind of get into a little bit of the nitty gritty of it. So this program is going to be taking place, of course, in Paris. It's going to be a 4-week, very intensive writing program between Wednesday, May 21st to Thursday, June 19th. So these dates kind of fall in line with like our typical Columbia, if you guys are Columbia students, our summer session A. So this program will really allow you to push forward in your creative works and really understand how your writing can be folded into the outside world. There's going to be a lot of different opportunities to explore Paris as kind of a guide through this exploration and really inviting you to see how your work is kind of always in dialogue. So this program is going to combine workshops, seminar formats, as long as, as well as like those field trip opportunities to really help you reflect and connect on kind of the writers and artists that you're going to be learning about, as well as your own, creative endeavors and creative writing throughout multiple genres. So our program directors, as Nellie has already introduced herself, we have Nellie, as well as Dorothy or Dottie. She'll maybe joining us a little bit later in a bit, just to go over kind of her course as well. But we do have a lot of information, I would say, on our website too. So briefly for academics, you will be taking 2 3-point classes, so for a total of 6 credits. The first one is What is Creative Writing For? Prose Writing in Paris with Nellie. And then also you'll be taking Writing Through Art and Poetry in Paris with Dorothy. So I'll have Nellie just briefly talk kind of about what this course is going to be like. I do want to highlight that this course will count towards the medical humanities major at Columbia. So if you are, a medical humanities student, you can expect this course to count towards your major credit. I'll pass it off to Nellie just to share a little bit more information about this course.
Sure. Well, with the grain of salt that the course is still very much in progress, it will be a new course, so I'm still very much figuring it out. But I'm a part of the narrative medicine program here at Columbia, and there will be a little narrative medicine flavor to this course, although it's not a narrative medicine course by any means. I'm a fiction writer by background. I'm really interested in what the title of the course, What is Creative Writing For? I'm really interested in the ways that we, question of why we write, what do we write for aside from ourselves and wanting to create a work of art. What does it mean to be a writer in the world? How does writing perhaps help us in various ways or not? So the course, I hope, will explore not only, students' own writing and, partially it will be a workshop, but it will also ask questions about how writing connects to the world, the larger world. There may be some opportunities to engage with healthcare practitioners who also are involved with writing. We will do lots of field trips. I know Dottie has lots of field trips planned as well in her course, really all around thinking about how writing can be part of the world, rather than just you in your room and your own thoughts. I hope that's a little bit helpful. It will be a mix of all kinds of things, but I expect it will be very fun, and I hope it will be interesting to others as well.
Awesome. Thank you for that. Um, Yeah, and kind of on Dottie, I know if she's able to join, she'll talk a little bit more about her course. But really, kind of from what is available on the website, her course is really going to be exploring kind of creative writing as like an interdisciplinary practice, with really an emphasis on artists who create in both the visual and textual fields. So you're going to be going over like a very wide mix of texts. From classic to contemporary poetry and prose, even some manuscripts and maybe children's pictures work. So it's really going to be kind of a very unique and hands-on experience that you'll be getting to work with Dottie, as well as Nellie on as well, for her course too. So again, there's more information on our website, about each of these classes and other kind of key things or critical questions to consider, when looking into each of these different courseworks. So to kind of go a little bit into life in Paris, you're going to be living in furnished single rooms, either with like kind of a roommate or studio style apartments located throughout Paris. Normally, these accommodations are usually within like a 30-minute commute on the metro to the Columbia Global Center in Paris at Reed Hall. All of these courses, these courses that you're going to be taking are going to be taking place at Reed Hall. So that's kind of the base for not only the creative and writing program, but also, a wide variety of programs that are going to be going on in Paris. So you'll be kind of with a very big cohort of students in Paris during this kind of session. Again, this program will be intensive, so you should expect to devote, a lot of your time to the classes and coursework, as well, as being prepared to, participate in any co-curricular or extracurricular activities. Typically, classes are usually taught Monday through Thursday, and then usually Friday is kind of reserved more for like those excursion opportunities, and sometimes even over the weekends. You should still have a lot of time to, explore Paris. Of course, these, courses are really going to facilitate those opportunities to explore Paris, but there will be some time on your own to be able to, enjoy this experience as well. So there are going to be a lot of course-related activities, but there will also be, again, quite a few social events that our staff over at the Columbia Global Center in Paris are going to be putting on to really help you have that immersive experience. So these kind of social events will be not only with just the creative writing, cohort, but also with other students, again, participating in a wide variety of programs, at Reed Hall. So you get to know quite a few other, Columbia students, visiting students that are attending our programs kind of across the board. So to go a little bit starting into the eligibility and application side of things, this program is currently open to undergraduates from Columbia, Barnard, as well as other universities. If you're another student from another university, there will just kind of be an additional step to take of making sure that you receive clearance from your home school to be able to participate in this program. All of the necessary items are going to be available in the creative writing application, which is through our UGE portal. You should have experience in creative writing, since again, this will be kind of an intensive program that really emphasizes and goes over kind of your own work. We do ask that students submit a recent kind of writing sample, a maximum of 10 pages. This could demonstrate, formal or your informal experience in prose writing and or poetry. So it's really kind of up to your discretion of what you would like to submit, but again, try to keep it a maximum of 10 pages. Lastly, you must be in good academic and disciplinary standing and have a 3.0 cumulative GPA, as well as a 3.0 GPA before the semester you go abroad. So this semester, the spring semester, you'll just need to make sure to maintain that 3.0 GPA. And that's just kind of across the board in all of your classes, not necessarily any, creative writing, kinds of classes. So then for the application, the application deadline is pretty fast approaching, I would say. We're maybe a little under a month out. So the next application deadline is going to be Friday, February 21st. Again, all of the items, are available to you on the Creative Writing website. If you click that Start Your Application button, that will immediately put you into our UGE portal so you can start working on the following items. So again, there's kind of like an application questionnaire. It's more of just gathering, basic information, have you submit like an official transcript, kind of just getting to know kind of your academic background and where you're coming from. There will also be a statement of interest that really kind of goes over, again, kind of your interest in this particular program, your experience with creative writing, what draws you to want to engage with this work in Paris in particular. So I encourage you to, like, in your statement of interest, kind of just letting your voice shine through. It's not necessarily as intensive of an application of getting into college. I want to emphasize that this is a study abroad program. We want you guys to have an enjoyable and immersive experience on this. So don't stress too much about the statement of interest. We really just kind of want to get to know you, on a little bit more of like a personal level. Again, you'll submit an official transcript just so that we can get an understanding of kind of your background and where you're coming from academically. As I've talked about, the writing sample, and again, if you're as well, if you're applying from another university, you'll just need to also submit our homeschool approval. If you haven't already done so, I would encourage you can scan the QR code here on the slide just to get started on this application. So I do want to just go over briefly the financial considerations, because I understand this is a really important factor to consider when studying abroad during a summer. I do also understand that some of our summer programs, can be expensive, to be honest. And unfortunately, it's really just because we have to follow, kind of those points per tuition that Columbia has during their summer sessions. So if you're a Columbia College student or just a Columbia student, the tuition there is billed, a little close to 13,000 per point. For non-Columbia students, same thing. Housing is going to be $2,000, or what we kind of call it. It's like our program fee. So not only includes housing, but will also include all of those, different extracurricular activities and co-curricular activities that are going to be kind of taking place across the board. So your housing, that $2,000 is pretty comprehensive of what will be kind of provided in that. If you're a non-Columbia student, you will need to submit for a document fee. This is really to ensure that you're able to get your Columbia transcript after the completion of your program. So there is just a one-time $105 fee that's associated with that. So that's why for non-Columbia students, you'll see on our financial considerations breakdown for the summer 25, it just looks a little bit different. These, I do want to emphasize that these are all of the costs that will be billed directly to you through our SSOL account, which is, if you're not a Columbia student, it's our kind of portal in a sense that Student Financial Services utilizes to bill students directly for any of the tuition or housing fees. So these are costs that will appear in your SSOL account. There are also additional kind of estimated out-of-pocket expenses that we list on the financial considerations page. So I encourage you to take a look at that. I'll just drop that in the chat for you so you can take a look and see what those additional costs may look like. Again, these are going to be out of pocket. So these are things in your budget that you should start, preparing for, things like airfare, maybe some additional meals, local transportation, if you want to go out and explore Paris on your own. So we try to include a pretty robust, out-of-pocket expenses, just so you can start planning and mapping out what that summer semester is kind of really going to look like. So with the understanding that, programs do cost a lot during the summer, I do want to share with you that we are offering what's called the Global Learning Scholarship, or the GLS for short. This is a scholarship opportunity that's available to Columbia College, Columbia Engineering, or general study students who demonstrate financial need. The deadline to apply is Friday, February 14th. So it is a bit earlier than the creative writing program. So you'll want to just make sure that if you're eligible for the GLS, to apply by that deadline. You will be notified of the GLS awards before you need to confirm any participation in the creative writing program. We want to ensure that you guys have all the information necessary so you can make, kind of the responsible decisions on whether or not kind of financially this program makes sense for you or not. Applying to the GLS does not impact your admissions decision to the program. So we do encourage you to apply. It really kind of the number or the allotted amount that we can give students, ranges typically between $1,000 to $7,000. We typically can't fully fund, a summer semester abroad, just because there's a lot of different applicants. And we want to make sure that everyone, gets the opportunity to receive some funding for this opportunity. So again, I encourage you to scan the QR code to learn more. There are also, if you're not a Columbia College or Columbia Engineering or GS student, there are also a wide variety of kind of additional outside scholarship opportunities that are available to you. I would encourage you to take a look at the Benjamin Gilman Scholarship, which if you're a Pell Grant recipient, you would be eligible for this award. This award can provide quite a bit of funding. So let's say you receive the GLS, you could also use the Gilman to kind of supplement a full experience abroad. Another kind of just resource of outside funding, just to share with you all, is Fund for Education Abroad. This is more of a general outside scholarship opportunity that we encourage students to apply to as well, just to receive some additional financial support. So if you're not necessarily eligible for the GLS, there's still a wide variety of funding resources available to you. And if you have any specific questions or need any help navigating that, feel free to reach out to me and I'd be more than happy to help. So really kind of advising, if you have any further questions, I'm the UG advisor to contact. There's my name and my email as well. You could take a look at my appointment calendar if you want to kind of just talk a little bit more one-on-one to learn more about this program and just better understand this experience. I'm really available anytime to support you kind of on your journey abroad. My calendar does fill up pretty quickly. I'm overseeing quite a few summer programs this summer, as well as our fall and spring Columbia approved opportunities. So if any of the dates or times don't work for you, just feel free to send me an email, and my schedule is relatively flexible, so I can always kind of work around that and find a time that works best for us. So if you have any questions or need anything else, just feel free to reach out anytime. But that's about it. Pretty quick session going over kind of what to expect on this program. We really appreciate you all attending today. If you have any questions, we'll stick around to help answer any of those. But again, if there's anything else you need, just feel free to reach out to us anytime.